Welcome to Hire Power, the show where we cut through the noise and get real about hiring. I'm Kim Frost, founder of Frost Connections, and after 25 plus years in the search industry, I've seen what works and what absolutely doesn't. If you're a founder, CEO, VP, or HR leader who's tired of bad hires and ready to build a team that actually fits your culture and vision, you're in the right place. Let's get into it.
Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the podcast. Today, we're talking about something a little bit bigger picture, but then we're going to get real and very practical. What is it? It's leadership trends for 2026 and what great leaders are doing differently. And you should know by now not to roll your eyes and think, oh God, here's another episode. We've heard this before. Because I'm going to give you the real down low based on what I'm seeing and most importantly, hearing. For some reason, people seem to open up to me and tell me things that they may not necessarily share with others. I remember once one of my friends, he introduced me to one of his friends. They had been friends for 18 years and met this new person, talked for about 20 minutes. And so sharing my experience with the friend that introduced us. And he was like, I've known this guy for 18 years. You know more about him in the 20 minutes than I have for 18 years. So maybe it's because I'm a good listener, maybe because I'm genuinely interested in others, but let's just call it another one of my superpowers. So people talk to me. What I'm going to talk to you about today, they're not trends I pulled from an article. They're patterns I'm seeing and hearing every day in searches that succeed, in searches that completely fail, with candidates who are excited to join, and then the ones who quietly back away. In leaders building strong, resilient teams, and those who keep wondering why they have such a high turnover, drama on the team, or simply why their team doesn't respect them. Leadership is being redefined now. There's so much happening in the world, and leaders who adjust are going to have a serious advantage in 2026 and beyond. So today I'm going to walk you through the big shifts I'm seeing, and then in the upcoming episodes, we'll break it down one on each of its own, because every single one of these directly impacts your hiring, your retention, your performance, which essentially is your bottom line, and your happiness. Okay, so let's go. Trend one. Clarity is the new leadership superpower. And if you've listened to my podcast before, you've definitely heard me talk about clarity, especially when it comes to hiring and defining roles. But what I'm seeing now is that this goes far beyond recruiting. Clarity itself is becoming one of the most important leadership skills for 2026. It's not bad intentions, it's not laziness. What it is fuzziness, fuzzy roles, fuzzy expectations. Leaders say things like, we just need a strong leader. We just need someone strategic, but also hands on. Or they'll just figure it out. But here's the problem, figuring it out isn't a leadership strategy anymore. And honestly, it should never have been one. In 2026, leaders who win are the ones who can clearly answer, what does success look like in this role? What decisions can this person make? And really giving them the authority to make those decisions. And what are we not asking them to own or do? So we're defining lanes here because clarity reduces friction. It speeds up hiring. It improves performance of both your employee and the company. And it's becoming a core leadership competency, not just an HR exercise. Trend number two, AI is raising the bar for human leadership. Okay, I promised I wasn't going to bring up AI. We just talked about it in the last two episodes, but come on, it is definitely impacting leadership. This is how AI is changing what we expect from leaders. We've already known that AI can screen resumes, it can analyze data, it can automate tasks that used to take hours. But as we know, it still won't be able to do things that humans do, such as building trust, It can't read subtleness or the dynamics on your team. It can't sense or see when someone is disengaging, but they haven't said a word yet. And it can't make value-based judgment calls in gray areas with real human impact. Though I know if you ask AI, they think it does. So instead of replacing leaders, AI is actually raising the bar for human leadership. In 2026, leaders will be valued less for just processing information and more for judgment, discernment, emotional intelligence, social intelligence, and ethical decision making. The more technology handles tasks, the more your human leadership becomes a differentiator. And candidates see this, employees feel this. They can tell when a leader is hiding behind tools and dashboards versus when a leader is actually present, aware, and willing to make thoughtful, human centered decisions. AI isn't removing the need for strong leadership, it's exposing where it's missing, which leads me to the next shift I'm seeing: culture. It's no longer a vibe, it's really an operating system. When I ask leaders what makes their opportunity different or special, guess what they say? It's our culture. I hear that all the time, number one. But then I go beyond and I say, okay, tell me about your culture that's what's different or special compared to your competitors or the other similar opportunities out there. And believe it or not, 9 times out of 10, they can't answer it. They get stuck. Then they rattle off a few things that honestly aren't different from other opportunities or competitors. But then when I talk to their employees or the candidates and the experience doesn't match, we got a problem. Danger, Will Robbins, danger. Yes, I just did cite my age there. Okay, so in 2026, culture is not about perks, slogans, or even team events, the kegerator, the foosball tables. It's about how decisions get made, how conflict is handled, whether accountability actually exists, and whether leaders do what they say they're going to do. This all seems natural, normal, well, of course, but believe it or not, some leaders don't have that as a baseline. So, this is your culture. Culture is becoming the operating system, not a side conversation. What are the thing that Gen Zs are saying is number one? You got it. It's the culture. So, all candidates, all top candidates, are evaluating this and asking themselves, will I be supported? How does my leader communicate? Are they clear? Do I have to read between the lines? Are they transparent? Is this a place where high performance is recognized or just expected without any support? Leaders who are intentional about behavior, not just branding and the slogans, they're going to attract and keep stronger people. Trend number 4. This is probably my favorite, and unfortunately, what I hear too often when we hire. You can't hire your way out of broken leadership. And I know that stings. I cringe when my clients will say, I need to hire X because we've only got 2 or 3 months of runway left, or I need to hire Y because they need to overhaul their team. I often see organizations trying to solve leadership problems by hiring the perfect person, right? Oh my God, I need a rock star. We need someone who can fix this because I can't. We need a unicorn, or my favorite, a purple squirrel. But if expectations are unrealistic, alignment is off, or accountability at the top is missing, no hire, no matter how talented they are, can truly fix that. They're in a situation or of the thought that this person will save the company. Because some companies, unfortunately, that's the truth. You can't put poor leadership decisions on someone who just left another job to solve this. So in 2026, stronger leaders are taking more ownership before the hire. They're getting aligned internally, they're clarifying priorities, they're addressing those known friction points. They're not just saying, let's go find someone to deal with it. They're saying, what needs to be changed and how we lead so this person can actually succeed. That mindset shift alone can be the difference between a great hire and another expensive turnover. Trend number 5, the best leaders are playing the long game. Short-term thinking in leadership is getting exposed fast. In 2026, I'm seeing more of a divide between leaders who are constantly reacting and those who are building for the future. The leaders who are ahead are thinking about succession, bench strength, internal mobility, developing people before there's a crisis. And honestly, this is something I'm seeing a need for in the market versus just a straight one-off hire. Because strong leaders are asking, if this person left tomorrow, who's ready to step up? What are our leadership gaps going to be 2 to 3 years from now? Again, this isn't HR planning, it's a business strategy, and everyone should be involved in that. Because when leadership continuity is weak, everything else feels unstable. Trend number 6, managers are the new make it or break it role. We talk a lot about executives, but in 2026, managers, who I like to refer to as leaders, are becoming the most critical leadership layer. They're no longer the liaison from the executive team to the frontline employees. They're the ones who are translating strategy into daily work, managing workload and burnout, driving engagement, or driving people out. I see so many companies losing good people, not because of the company, but because of the day-to-day leadership experience. Organizations that invest in manager capability, communication, coaching, feedback, prioritization, they are the ones that are going to see a huge return in retention and performance. Because culture doesn't live in a mission statement, it lives in your leadership. It lives in your managers. These are the big leadership shifts I'm seeing as we head into 2026. Clarity, it's becoming a core leadership skill. AI, it's raising the bar for human judgment. Culture, it's the operating system, not a vibe. You can't hire your way out of leadership gaps. Your strong leaders are playing the long game, and your managers/leaders are the make it or break it layer. In the next several episodes, we're going to break each one of these down on its own, what it looks like, where leaders get stuck, and what you can do differently starting now. Because leadership in 2026 isn't about doing more. It's about leading with more intention, more clarity, and more responsibility for the environment you're creating. And that shows up in every hire you make and every person you're trying to keep. That's it for today. I'll see you next episode where we dive into the first one, why clarity might be your most unrelated leadership advantage right now.
That's it for this episode of Hire Power. If you're ready to hire smarter, connect with me at frostconnections.com or at LinkedIn at Kim Frost. And if you've got something to say about today's episode, follow the show and share it with someone who needs to hear it. Until next time, hire smart, lead better, and remember, how you hire is who you become. See you next week. No fluff, just better hires.